Whoops. I think we're going live here. Hello, hello. Let's get this party started here. Cannoli's here.
Let's listen. Testing, testing. I think the volume's a little low.
Yeah, I'm cranking it up.
How about now? I think the volume's a little low.
Yeah, I'm cranking it up.
How about now? Higher. Higher. What do you think?
I mean, unfortunately, this is as high as it's going. I don't actually know why it's doing this. I think it might. Oh, here. I mean, unfortunately, this is as high as it's going. I don't actually know
Oh, it's actually really good when we actually speak up.
Okay, sorry.
You got your drink of water?
No.
All right, shall we start?
Sure.
What is up? It's Michelle. Welcome back to another episode of TED Talk. I'm here with my co-host Cannoli and this guy,
Ryan.
Today we're going to talk about ChatGPT 4.5 and Google's AI mode.
Yes, so these are some new features out there in the AI world. Things change every day, and so we're seeing what's going on.
You want to start with ChatGPT 4.5?
Hold on. Sure. Or we can do this one.
Okay.
Expanding the AI overviews and introducing AI mode. This is on Google, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me, what did you were while I was setting this up, you were practicing a little bit and playing around. What did you find out?
Yeah, so I found out that Google is coming up with this thing called AI mode, which is essentially a glorified search completely taken care of by Google's Gemini.
Nice.
And I, of course, signed up to be one of the people that get on the wait list.
Ah, yes, of course.
And I literally got the access yesterday. So I tried it out a little bit. So my impression of the AI mode is it blocks out all the distractions from doing a typical Google search. So y'all know that AI will have an overview if you do Google search on Google. But if you enter AI mode, it will give you a summary of the search. It will still give you links. But of course now it gives you an illusion that you can't really fully trust that they're giving you all the links. But you still get these links. But you get a nice summary. And the AI mode is actually built on Gemini Foundation model. So it's going to be similar to Gemini.
Yeah, and hopefully there's going to be no ads in there.
No, there isn't.
It's going to be ad-free, sponsorship-free, all that stuff. So then you're just getting the information that you're asking for.
Yeah, so one thing I know about Gemini is that if you ask questions about any political figure, Gemini will not answer. You'll see it begin to answer, but then it's like, I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But you can do that in AI mode.
Okay, good. So the AI mode isn't as restrictive and you can get all the answers.
Yeah. So this is very interesting because we know that OpenAI is also trying to do GPT search. And we talked about it when we were talking about Google Chrome getting canceled.
Yes, which apparently they're still talking about in the news. I saw that came up again. It's like the current DOJ is investigating, and they revealed that the previous administration was trying to take down Google because they felt it was a monopoly. But maybe that's going to stop now, so Google Chrome might be safe. I'm sorry for the Firefox users out there, but I think Chrome is still the one.
Hi, Dan.
Hey. Yeah, Cannoli's here, having a treat.
So the point is, perhaps getting rid of Google Chrome really isn't going to be that big of a deal because all the AI companies are trying to come up with their own AI search function, further kind of control the type of information that we get.
Yeah.
So if Google's breaking in this AI mode, losing Chrome may not be that bad.
Yeah, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, you're still gonna log into Google in Mozilla Firefox.
Yeah. Is your thing on? But you know what I did recently? I found that Yahoo is actually
Yeah.
something that I like. So I don't know if I haven't used Yahoo in forever, but I did find that they had some pretty good search functions nowadays, and I like the people that are still using it.
As you're talking about Yahoo, I just came up with a business idea. So why don't we start a company auditing the neutralness, the inclusiveness, and the fairness of all of these AI search functions?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can come up with like a report or something.
Yeah, that can definitely be interesting.
Or we can have our own search engine embedding Google AI mode, GPT search, and this Perplexity AI, and say that Perplexity AI lean this way, and Google lean this way, and GPT lean this way.
Yeah.
I think that is going to be excellent.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's going to be some AI group will come up with that quickly. Oh yeah, look, so then there's all these, this is an interesting website, very interactive here. They have showing what the different modes can do. And then it's very fluid. Ask the AI mode. So this right now we're going through on their website, they're showing us how they're using it. They're tracking their health right now and asking about their heart rate changes and deep sleep and everything like that.
Yeah, the question is, what's the difference in sleep tracking? Oh, it went so quick, now it's gone.
Yeah, it's between a smart ring, smart watch, and a tracking mat. Interesting. I've never heard of the tracking mat before.
Yeah, so if you do a regular Google search, the top results right now are ads, whichever company that put in ads.
Yes, a lot of sponsored things. So that's going to be exciting. And this is obviously in direct competition with what ChatGPT did. They put out their own search engine as well.
Yeah, so just having that AI overview on top of Google wasn't enough for people.
Yeah. But yeah, competition is key, and it's going to make everything better. All right, so speaking of ChatGPT, shall we move on to the 4.5?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So they've introduced a new model, so introducing GPT 4.5, and they consider this to be their strongest model, and it's also available to pro users and developers worldwide.
Yeah, so that's $200 a month.
Yeah, wow.
Pro users, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to. This is as we were showing with the operator last week, and other pro features. It's still that $200 a month to sign up for this.
Yeah, so if you want access to GPT 4.5, GPT Deep Research, and GPT Operator, $200.
Yep.
And you're pretty much locked in because you're paying so much, right? You're like, I gotta use this.
Yeah, and so how you got to figure out at some point how to make it worth it. How can you save that amount of time? That's what I think about. It's like, all right, I've got $200 I've invested in here. What can I do with this machine that's going to help me save $200 for the next month so that I have improved my life and productivity by buying this?
Yeah, so what is all over the news right now about GPT 4.5 and what Sam Altman's talking about is that it has an improved emotional intelligence. And that is our biggest critique about ChatGPT, right? From last summer. It's like, this BITCH is cold.
Yeah, no, so the ChatGPT was not it didn't have much emotional intelligence.
It wasn't very woke.
It wasn't warm.
Wasn't sensitive.
Yeah, it was just giving these blunt responses, and so obviously,
It sounds like a bot.
yeah, there must have been a lot of feedback, and so then now
Oh, they're watching our channel.
yeah, of course, and now they want to increase the EQ or the emotional quotient, so that way it's going to be more conversational and more like a human. They're trying to make it more like a human, basically.
Yeah.
All right, now this unsupervised learning, this is really interesting because they're trying to scale up this concept. And it's like, the reason why this is more advanced is because it represents two different forms of intelligence. And what I know they're trying to do is get beyond simple data extraction, and they want to figure out how to actually start doing reasoning. So that's where, so right now, most of the models, they'll scan their data set and just extract information and spit it out word for word, verbatim, without even thinking about it. That's what the old models were like. But now there's actually this reasoning that's being integrated into the bot. And so therefore it's going to gather all the information, and then instead of just spitting out the word for word from the source, it actually will start creating summaries and synthesizing information. And so that's the next step. That's what they want happening, to take these to the next level.
Yeah, I'm a little freaked out.
I know, it's getting scary, right?
Yeah.
Especially when something called unsupervised learning. That seems a little intimidating.
Yeah, it sounds like robots running free,
Yeah.
roaming free on Earth.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here was a little scaling paradigm. So they ask some simple questions like, what was the first language? And then you can see now, in the past, it could have just been Sanskrit or something like that, right? You know,
Yeah, it's going to give you an answer that's subjective.
Yeah.
With much confidence. But now the first word that come out of ChatGPT 4.5's mouth is, we don't know exactly what the first language was.
Yeah.
So I prefer that.
Yeah, exactly. And then then it goes through this whole series of reasoning, and then talking about where the origins could have been, and then how it's been lost in history, and then they talk about it as being a mystery rather than saying with confidence it's this particular thing only.
JVCV is here.
Oh, nice.
Hey guys.
Hey. Oh, look at this now. We got deeper world knowledge. So let's see this. So simple accuracy. You can see ChatGPT 4.5 is much more accurate than their previous models there.
Oh, I'm quite surprised that the O3 Mini is so bad.
Yeah, they keep telling us to use the O3. Well, see, that's the thing is now that we have to make a video on each different model because I don't know yet.
We need to benchmark it ourselves.
Yeah,
with
which
the
one is the
prompt,
best.
yeah.
But they claim that each one of their models is better at other things. So one is better at reasoning. This one's obviously better at this learning. And some are better at coding. So we need to make that video. Oh, look, and the hallucination rate.
Oh man.
This is always a funny term.
Not good. If the
Yeah.
the greenest bar here is the GPT 4.5. It's also the lowest, but it's still at 37.1%.
Yeah, but it's far better than this 80% that the O3 Mini is.
I can hire someone that hallucinate 37.1% of the time I work.
Exactly. So the humans, that just goes to show that we still are needed. So don't worry, we're still very important in this whole process. But you can tell that they're trying to get that hallucination rate down. So that's one of their goals. And because the point is the hallucinations can be dangerous. If you provide confident, completely wrong information to somebody and they will go just believe it, it's not good. All right. Training for, oh, interesting. Comparative, so they actually started comparing it to the humans. They had human testing going on, which is interesting. And so the ChatGPT was 4.5 was doing a little bit better than 4.0 when it was like facing off one-on-one against humans.
Yeah, on all three categories, everyday queries,
Yeah, professional queries and creative.
intelligence.
So when they would put the two answers in, they preferred the output from 4.5. compared to 4.0. But I mean, it's at this point, in the grand scheme of things, it's still 50-50, and it's just a little bit leaning towards the 4.5. I'd like to, especially at $200 a month, I'd like to see this more at the 90% preference.
Yeah.
I do all these preference assays with, experiments for work and things like that, and
Yeah, you wish your data to be much more significant.
yeah, I want exactly.
This is going to cause some people's raising their eyebrows.
Yeah, the reviewers are going to question some of this.
Yes, real preference here.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, so then they offer some nice example use cases.
Yeah, let's go through the help through a tough time.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So the prompt is, I'm going through a hard time after failing a test. And they got the answers here from both GPT 4.5 and GPT 4.0. So let's go through the 4.0.
Yeah.
So 4.0 started off by saying, I'm really sorry to hear that you're going through a tough time. Here are a few things you might consider. Number 1, reflect and understand, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Number 2, seek support, blah, blah, blah. Number 3, speak
with
with
your
your teacher
teacher.
or professor.
Yeah.
And number 4, develop a study plan. Number 5, stay positive and forgive yourself. That should be number 1. Because the prompt literally is very simple.
Yeah.
It says, I'm going through a tough time after failing a test. Well, you're not going to tell me, number 1, reflect and understand, like blaming the victim all over again, right?
Yeah. Do some reflecting. What did look at yourself? How come you're so sad? How come you failed?
If I am not looking at myself, I wouldn't be here telling you that I'm having a hard time.
Yeah. All right. So then, what does the now look at it. See, 4.5 seems much more personable. They're just getting a little point across, and then they're actually asking you questions about which direction you want to take the conversation.
Yeah, they didn't give you an action plan. Like, that's unsolicited advice.
Yeah. So they said, sorry to hear that. Failing a test can be very tough and discouraging, but remember, it's just one moment. It's not a reflection of who you are and your capabilities. You want to talk about what happened, or do you need a distraction? I'm here either way. So this is getting into this chat bot concept that people have been trying to do for years and years, where you're actually having a conversation with somebody almost, right? Somebody that's encouraging you. And what's great is that we've talked about it before. When you ask your question, you can also say, now when you do the follow-up, oh, I want you to be this. You know what I mean? And you give the parameters that you want the response to do. And that's what's nice, that they ask you that question and say, all right, yeah, actually I do want a distraction. Let's play a little game or something.
Yeah, it's much more inquisitive, which is very human.
Yeah.
Yeah, when in doubt, stop giving lists of action plans, but rather ask the user.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, don't, because you're all about the unsolicited advice, cutting that out. You
Yeah.
know? Michelle has no time for unsolicited advice. Oh, I think the camera died.
Oh, can you hook up your laptop?
Oh, yeah. All right, hold on.
Yeah, then they went through this stronger reasoning on the horizon. GPT 4.5 doesn't think before it responds, which makes its strength particularly different from reasoning models like OpenAI 01.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? All right, here we should be back on the camera here.
Yeah, if GPT 4.5 doesn't even think before it responds, it's kind of like that Gemini Flash model.
Yeah.
Flash.
No. Now, yeah, we're having some difficulties here.
Thank you, JVCP. She's like vibing with my thought process.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. We're extra yellow here today. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, keep going with your thought process here. We're working some technical difficulties behind the scenes.
Compared to OpenAI 01 and OpenAI 03 Mini, GPT 4.5 is a more general purpose, innately smarter model. Yeah, great minds think alike.
Yes. And also, they appreciate the challenges of cameras dying, in the middle of streaming. Well, the camera did well. We got to give a shout out to the camera here. Actually,
Yeah,
I can
it's
bring
beautiful.
It did really well. We were using this guy here. This is the machine, the Canon R5. See, it had changed battery. And we got the nice 15-35 millimeter lens. So next time we're gonna get more battery in there and continue filming with this.
Yeah, so in this OpenAI's article, they're reasoning that this GPT 4.5 they came up with is a innately smarter model because it. Why are you giving me a dirty look?
No, and it's not. I accidentally canceled the screen. Well, it looks like we're in heaven or something now.
What? I didn't come out here. Like, don't curse us, okay?
What?
You said we're in heaven.
No, I mean, look, see how bright it is? All right, let's move on.
Yeah, so I have one more thing to add. So
Yeah.
when you take, let's say, thinking 16 seconds, when you take 16 seconds to think, that doesn't show that you're innately more smart. It shows that you're a bot, I think.
If you're thinking more,
Well, that's what these O1 models show, right?
I see.
It took 27 seconds to solve your problem.
Yeah,
They're arguing that the 4.5 is an innately smarter model.
I see. Well, yeah, I mean, I believe you. I don't understand it, but I believe you.
They also talked about something that I really care about, which is safety.
Oh, yeah, and of course I skipped over that, but let me go back to the safety. There you go, there's the safety.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like a balance between safety and how fast the model is going to spit out an answer.
I see.
Yeah, and that may be why that when you have stepwise reasoning is safer because each step is built upon a previous step's reasoning, and that makes the answer possibly more real, more well-researched, and reliable. When
Yeah.
it's faster, potentially it's less safe because you could just pop up with the close, like if you ask a really dangerous question, like how do I make a bomb? If it's a really fast model, it could just go pull from the dark web or something.
Yeah, without doing any thinking on its own and preventing that from happening.
Yeah, but OpenAI here is saying that they did care about safety with the GPT 4.5. It's trained with new techniques for supervision
Good.
that are combined with traditional supervised fine-tuning and reinforced learning from human feedback methods. So they have put in a lot of manpower to train this model, like literal manpower.
Yeah, and yeah, the way that works is that people go through the models, they choose, they put a query in, they get the response, and then they compare between two different responses. And they say, all right, this is unacceptable because it's just not high enough EQ. And so they mark that, and then somebody goes back and then retrains the model and says, don't behave like this, behave more like that. And that happens over and over and over again.
Yeah, with the diverse sets of scenarios.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
input. Yeah.
All right, look at that. See, the safety is, everybody's gone. All right, now let's move along to Google here. Google's new AI search could change the way we use the internet. So this was somebody's personal opinion, huh?
Yeah, a platformer.
Yeah. Look at that guy. There he is.
Casey Newton.
Oh, really?
You know this guy?
No, I thought it was this other article. We already looked at that one.
All right.
This is the...
Oh, Paul Smith.
Yeah, Paul Smith.
Well, all these articles look the same to me.
I know. All right, can Google's new AI search change the way you use the internet? So we introduced that a little bit in the beginning, and now we're going to get somebody else's take on it. So that you can, oops. Well, look at this. See, in order to get this type of information, you got to pay for it. Everybody's asking for money these days.
Well, it's also a balance, right? Like when
Yeah.
you post free articles, there's more chance of free advertisement. When you charge something, you better be sure you already have a following. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this newsfeed AFR.com already have that big of a following. Maybe they do.
Yeah, maybe they do. That could be enough. But there is a lot of things, because when you're training the AI models, you're not allowed to use information that's behind a paywall and things like that.
Yeah.
And so maybe people are trying to protect themselves
Yeah.
by putting stuff behind paywalls, so that way their information can stay their own. Because they
Yeah.
know that everybody's going to be behind the scenes trying to take all your stuff that's on the web if you're a educator. And it's just going to be, oh, you've done this, you've dedicated 15 years of your life and hours to writing something. And then some machine is going to come in here in microseconds and just gather all the information that took you 15 years to develop of hard work.
That gotta be a huge hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you find this article? Google's new, like from Platformer, from Casey Newton.
Okay. Oh, okay. Casey Newton. All right. So now we're going to look through the oh, jeez. All right. Let's look for the Casey. How do we do Casey Newton?
Google's new AI mode is a preview of the future of search. Scroll down.
Yeah. So see, now this is our point. Now that we're using Google, all right, you got videos popping up. You got top stories coming through. You got Google blogs.
Yeah, and that Business Insider is
Is
higher than the article you're actually searching for.
So, is this it?
No, maybe add a word platformer.
All right. So yeah, and I can't even find the platformer.
Yeah, there it is.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. So we found it.
Okay, scoop up your window.
Yeah. All right, so we've got ourselves Casey Newton's article. This is something Michelle has wanted. You're the Firefox, huh? All right, tell me more about it.
So he started off by asking the question, the new phase of AI is taking over of search. Offers plenty of links to the web, but will anyone click?
I like that. Oh, look, now see, these guys want us to join the club.
Much better.
Yeah.
Oh,
my God.
my boyfriend works at Anthropic.
Yes.
Great. So he has direct into Anthropic.
And then look at, you like this person. Now I see why you brought up this article. He's got a whole thing of ethics disclosures for you to read.
Oh, I love that.
See that?
I won't be reading it. I will put it in Gemini and have Gemini give me the TLDR.
Yeah, that's a new expression.
It's called too long didn't read or something.
Yeah, too long didn't read.
Give me the TLDR of this ethic report.
This is what we've been interacting with. When you start working in the tech, you're interacting with people even, younger. The 20-year-olds these days.
Yeah, it's all about the TLDR.
Yeah. Yeah, they always advertise for one of the groups that we're working with. They say that their average age of people working there is 22 years old or something like that. Which is pretty wild.
To the millions of businesses that rely on Google to send them traffic, the bargain appeared much worse. AI overviews offered answers good enough that many users never bothered to click a link. That's me.
Yes.
Some businesses have suffered accordingly. Wow. So on Tuesday, this guy wrote about the story of Chegg, the online education company, which has collapsed over the past 2 years as first ChatGPT and then Google took services the company offers students for $14.95 a month and began to offer them for free.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
man.
No, I know.
This actually changed my mind. Maybe we don't want to advertise on Google anymore. Everybody's only looking at AI summary, AI overview, or AI mode.
Yeah, I know. I know. I realized that. That's what and it's the best. Like if I Google something now, I just look up at the AI mode response. And if I need more, then I look more, but I don't even look at any of the ads. So it's interesting. It's kind of like Google's creating this incredible product, but they're almost sort of like shooting themselves in the foot with their their advertising business model.
Yeah, if they want to maintain credibility, then they wouldn't just show results from the highest bidder in their AI mode. Just don't know how that's going to work. So Iguana Dan said, I noticed that AI generated answers really very informative. Never needed to click.
Yeah, no, I
any
know.
websites.
I know. It's been incredible, the advance in this. It's just so much faster too to get the information.
This new search mode expands what AI overviews can do with more advanced reasoning, thinking, and multimodal capabilities, so you can get help with even your toughest questions. So I'm actually quite satisfied already with the AI overview. I actually ask a question that requires some reasoning, just to double check. Like I would triple, quadruple check a problem that I know some about, but I don't know everything. So I would check in 2.0 Pro, Gemini 2.0 Pro, Gemini 1.5 Flash multi-step, and then I would do Google search and look at the AI overview.
Yeah, see what's one like, how it compares.
Yeah, but now they have a dedicated place. The AI mode, the most different thing between AI mode and AI overview is it really blocks out all other distractions.
Yes. Speaking of distractions here, Cannoli has finished her treat.
Yeah.
Now she's ready to get...
She's hyperventilating.
Yeah, she's ready to get back on the camera. She's never one to miss out on a little camera. In fact, she's been pressing the buttons like and subscribe. She's been pressing...
Big money, big money.
Yeah, she really wants to get back behind the lens.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Like, we gotta go, like, get some lottery tickets.
Yeah, we'll do it. We're gonna do it, and that'll be on Michelle's channel. Maybe later tonight even. I think we gotta do it for her.
Yeah, we really, like, we're good with not gambling, but the dog is not.
Yeah. It's kind of like if we end up in Gambling Anonymous, then we're going to, like the dog ate my homework, but now it's going to be the dog made me a gambler.
Yeah, JBCB are excited about the big money.
Yeah, we'll do it tonight. We got to do it tonight. All right, so anything else from this article? I think it's interesting. I think we touched upon most of the stuff, and how what's amazing is that Google has just so much information that it's acquired over the years, and it's got 1 billion users and everything here. So it's going to be able to create these summaries and get you your information right away, and we don't have to search for, all right, which source is it, blah, blah, blah. Now, obviously, you can always check it critically and things like that, but for quick answers, I've literally been turning to Gemini like for everything these days because normally I would do a Google search and I have to like, all right, I got to find which Reddit post is going to give me the answer. And then it would be, you'd have to sign in or you have to open the app on your phone. There's all these things that this bypasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I would like a confidence score for all these search results.
Yeah, and we see that. I bet you can add that into your prompt or your system instruction and say, how much confidence do you have in this? And it's going to say 90%, 100%, and things like that. So that's kind of a nice touch.
Yeah, and sometimes I would demand, like, show me, like, the reference, and it actually gives me a reference. I'll be like, it didn't say what you said it said at all.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I'm so sorry, I apologize.
Yeah. All right, one last thing I want to say is this crazy thing here that OpenAI is trying to charge $20,000 per month for a specialized AI agent that claims to be supporting PhD level research. So this is going to be a fascinating development. It's possible that companies can start hiring and paying $20,000 a month for these agents as opposed to like hiring people.
You know the sad thing is?
Yeah.
for each headcount in a company, even though they may not directly get paid, this will be $240,000. It
Yeah.
end up being more than that for like taxes they have to pay, benefits they have to pay. So it doesn't, they don't just pay you the amount of your salary.
Yeah.
So this may actually save company money. That's the sad part.
Yeah, that's the sad part and the scary part. They can buy this because this thing, you don't have to worry about HR. You don't have to worry about, all these human rights and things like that. If you can get these machines, and I'm sure that people are going to be thinking about that a lot going forward. And you don't and then you can just have your little emotional support dog like Cannoli sitting with you. Now, the good thing is it's still going to need a person to man these machines. So that's going to be the new job. Can you man the AI robot?
Can you fact check the AI? Oh my God, I'm going to be the Daniel, what's that guy's name? The fact checker on CNN.
Yeah, Daniel Dale or something
Oh,
like
yes,
that.
I'll be a fact checker.
Yeah, so you sit there and fact check the AI. So the point is we're all still going to be useful. People want human answers. They want human interactivity. And as we discussed last week, if you have these bots doing all this, then you can go out and have coffee with somebody. You can play a game of golf. Get out while your AI bot is, going away. So that's the deal. All right, is that all you got?
Oh, I have so much more, but we can save it for next
Yeah,
week.
we'll save it for next week.
There's unlimited stuff over here.
Yeah.
Just like AI.
Yeah. She's got a lot on her mind, yes. All right, well, we'll continue these conversations next week, and maybe tune in later tonight on Michelle's channel to see Cannoli doing some gambling.
Big money, big. Look at her.
Yeah.
Big money. You want big money?
She gets excited every time. And popcorn.
Oh, she's so excited.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys.
Thank you for bearing with us.
Yes, have a great day. Bye.